Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unfiltered with Adiola, where we have honest conversations with inspiring people who make an impact shaping industries and challenging perspective, also leaving a lasting mark. I am your host, Adiola, and I am glad you are joining us today. Joining us here is Jeremiah, a clothing brand CEO, a fintech professional, and a passionate advocate for leadership and creativity. Jeremiah, you're welcome to Unfiltered with Adiola. It's great to have you here. Okay, so what distinguishes a creative professional from a creative entrepreneur?
Okay. So let's take it this way. A creative professional, I would say in my own time is like you can be a professional and still work under someone, right?
Yeah.
So what distinguishes you from a creative professional and a creative entrepreneur? Because you as an entrepreneur, you're more of someone who call the shot yourself, right? You have much more opportunity to create beyond the environment beyond the circumstances. You're not limited to a certain idea. So you have much more room to create because it's more like you're your own boss, right?
Mhm.
But as a professional, if you're in an organization where you're very good, they need your talent, you work based off of what the organization wants you to work on,
Mm.
right? You're not able to create freely beyond that environment or that beyond that actual organization, I would say. I think that's the best way to put
Yeah.
the differences between both.
So, as a CEO of a clothing brand, what are the
Right.
biggest lessons that you've learned about building a business?
Oh, wow, that's a good one. The biggest lesson I've learned is that people don't immediately see what you see,
Hmm.
right? I've learned that you have to put yourself out there more oftentimes enough to know that winning is no longer an option, right? Winning becomes inevitable because starting out, a lot of people want to see more of what you can do, a lot more you can create, right? So put yourself out there more until you have people's undivided attention,
Hmm. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I've learned that being an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting out, it's more of like a lonely road, right? There's no much support. A lot of people you think they're gonna be there for you. At the end of the day, they're not really who you want
Who
them
you
to
want
be
them to
when it
be?
comes to exactly when it comes to the support and all that. So I've learned so much that you have to be able to also take risk, right? Taking risk is one of the biggest asset to that
Ex-
because I've seen a lot of creative and they're not able to. They're only where they are because they cannot take that risk, right? So
Yeah.
take that risk, be consistent, and just keep going. Those are the things I've learned,
So,
really.
what mistakes do you often see young creatives make that slows down their growth?
Yeah, the mistake they make is a creative person can make mistake by overthinking,
Hmm.
overthinking everything. You've not even put it out there. You don't know if people are gonna, really like this ship or you already overthink. Based on your overthinking, you can already decide it's not a good idea, right? So don't overthink everything. You're being creative. It may not be something really unique to someone, but it can be very unique to someone else, right?
Yeah.
So whatever creative you have, just put it out there and find your people, right? Don't overthink everything. And a lot of creatives are sitting overthinking things and they just, kill a very good idea just by their own overthinking. And later on, they can actually see people actually doing that thing they once have idea of because they didn't take
Hmm.
that action. You switch to someone else and someone else took that action and
Hmm.
then they see themselves in that person like, whoa, I had this idea a few years ago, a
Yeah.
few months ago. I wish I had taken it. So overthinking kills a lot of creatives in this day and age.
So, social media has given creatives a global platform, right? Do you think
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
helping people build sustainable careers, or are we just becoming too focused on visibility over power?
I think social media has come to a place where you can build your career off of social media.
Yeah,
Right? I've seen a lot of people, you tell them what do you do for a living, they say social media. That's how much social media has really gone,
impacted people.
has evolved over the years, right? So, but at the end of the day, there's still people who only consume on social media instead of being part of the creators, right?
Yeah.
So it can be like a career path for so many people. So it depends on how you use it. But I can say for sure, social media can be, it can be the career off of social media in this day and age,
Hmm.
right? Right.
If you were
Totally.
if you were to mentor a young creative, what
Right.
three pieces of advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say start where you hurt. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait to get the perfect resources or the perfect condition
Hmm.
before you start. Start where you hurt, right? I would also say learn the community, right? Find your home people.
Hmm.
I mean, there are over 7 billion, 8 billion people in the world, right? You have certain things that a lot of people need out there, right? So create, don't overthink, and study from the great.
Yeah, study the great and you'll be
Study from
greater.
the great. Make research, study from the great, and just learn marketing too. Learn how to market yourself, right? Because you have so much potentials, but you're not putting yourself for people to see you, right? You need to learn to, learn business, learn marketing. And if people say no, go to the next person, you know, someone will say yes,
Hmm.
right?
That's
And
true.
don't be discouraged by the obstacles, right? If you have a creative idea and you execute it, it didn't go the way you envision, double down on it again and go harder.
Hmm.
I think those are the advices that I would give
Okay.
to a young creative.
Has there
Right.
ever been a time that you questioned yourself or the path that you were working towards, and what helped you through the what helped you through the overthinking? What helped you through it?
Right. That's a good question there. So, as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of, moments where you will question yourself, is it even making sense? Do
Yeah,
I give up or keep going? Right. I myself have had moments like that. But I
yeah.
would say the only thing that kept me going was the love of the game. I use that word a lot, the love of the game,
Hmm.
because I love what I'm doing. I didn't go into this path because of the money, the results. Because, for example, entrepreneurs don't always sell out their services or products, right?
Yeah.
And those are the times you can question yourself. The money is not coming in. So this is why I wouldn't advise you go in for the love of the money. So not selling out can be one of the biggest challenges, which I myself go through that. But because I love what I'm doing, it's a passion that I have for it. So I keep going regardless, right? So I also think the fact that people reach out to me and tell me how much I've impacted them, how much I've inspired them,
Hmm.
that alone is a win, right? So those are the things that keep me going because if you see it that way, you would always find a purpose, right? Because you have to do things that gives you purpose, right? And for me, it is the path that I'm following.
Yeah.
So that's what is keeping me going, right?
So, what's your definition about success, and has the definition changed over the years?
Yes, I would say it has changed over the years. Back in the days, people measure success based off of your property, money you have in your bank account. But for me, especially in this day and age, I think success is more about opinion, right?
Hmm.
If you say you're successful where you are, that's you're contented with that because success is not only measured by you know the physical things, right? So if you say, for example, you want to live in the woods, right? You want to live under, I don't know, under trees. If that's your goal in life and you achieve that, that's measured as a success to you. And who am I to dispute that, right? So success is more like an opinion to me, right? Saying you would do something and doing it, it is success, right? So You don't have to say, oh, you don't have a car, you don't have this, so you're not successful, right? Look at the journey. If you see how far you've come, you've overcome certain things that a lot of people are yet to overcome, and they will trade that for you. So this is why I measure success based off of what I've done that I wanted to do at some point in life, not necessarily how much I've made today,
All right.
how many cars I've got, right?
Yeah,
That also counts, but that's not the typical success that counts in
that
this day and
counts.
age.
That
And
counts.
I think that has changed over the years.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for being our guest today. And to the
Oh, appreciate
listeners
that.
out there, thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered with Adiola. Kindly subscribe,
Absolutely.
share with someone who will find it
Yeah.
valuable. Follow for more
Right.
conversations. Until next
Follow
time,
for more.
I am Adiola.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad to be here. And I want to tell you, keep going. You've got what it takes to,
Thank you.
pull the community, right?
Thank
Keep
you.
going, keep spreading the stories and, inviting creative and people who is gonna like impact the community and
Thank
change the
you.
world at large.
Thank you so
So
much. All
thanks
right.
for inviting me.
Until next time,
Sure.
I'm Adiola, and
All
I'm
right.
reminding you to stay curious, authentic, and
For
never
sure.
stop creating. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.